Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Victoria Day, and welcome to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, Season 10, Episode 44, overall 539 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and yours truly has been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet for the last 25 years. I want to wish all my Canadian audience that are watching this show today live stream or on audio a very happy Victoria Day holiday here in Canada on this Monday, May 19th, 2025, and I'm excited about my guest today. Before we get to our guest today, it is Toronto Maple Leafs Elimination Day. The Leafs were defeated last night 6-1 by Florida, and the Leafs are now out of the playoffs. And you know the Leafs have not won a Game 7 series in 7,699 days. So for my Toronto Maple Leaf friends out there, my deepest sympathies and condolences. And as they say in sports, there's always next year. But I am looking forward to my guest today. She is a friend of mine, and this is her first appearance on our show. And she is Kayla Crosby, the general manager of the Basketball Super League's Jamestown Jackals. She's also a native of Russell, Pennsylvania. I'm going to ask her where that is in that state. And she's a former basketball player herself. So we're going to bring on Kayla Crosby right now. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just had to mention the Maple Leafs after losing to Florida last night. This is a great time of the year, Kayla, for sports.
It definitely is, for sure. Yes.
One thing I've learned about doing media work for sports teams, the behind the scenes, is there really is no off season for the behind the scenes staff.
That is true. Yep, I've definitely learned that.
How are you doing, and how are things right now in Jamestown, New York?
Things are going decent. So we finished our season on the second week of April. And all of our players left town at the end of season because no one is actually from the Jamestown area. But we're currently working on full-time housing for the team. And so I've been very busy working on that and some other things, taking care of some bills, and then just preparing for an even better year, 2026.
I'm assuming you guys, the team and the franchise, will be back in the Basketball Super League next year, right?
That is the plan. We have an owners meeting coming up next month, and so looking forward to hear what the league's talking about for next season.
Overall, what are your thoughts on joining the Basketball Super League just a couple years ago and coming up here to Ontario and playing the Canadian teams here as well?
It was a great decision. So the previous 3 seasons we played 6 seasons in the basketball league, but for the past 3 years we played exhibition games against the Canadian teams in NBL Canada, and so we had a great experience with those opportunities. And so we were very excited to be offered to join BSL this past season, and really just the level of professionalism, the quality of the arenas, and just the level of competition. It was wonderful. We were really glad we made the decision that we did.
For my audience that are watching this live stream or on audio, and they're not quite sure where Jamestown, New York is location-wise, can you just let them know?
Yep. So we're in Western New York. We're about an hour and a half south of Buffalo, and then an hour from Erie, Pennsylvania, 2.5 from Cleveland, Ohio. So we're kind of in the corner. A lot of people get confused when you say New York; they think New York City, and we're far from the city.
New York's a lot different than New York City.
Most definitely.
What makes Jamestown such a great community for having a basketball team?
There's not much going on, especially during the winter, and so it's great. We started a nonprofit back in 2015 that owns the team to bring positive role models to the community, and so we provide a lot more than just the basketball entertainment side of things. We are the only professional sports team in Jamestown currently, but also
Wow.
the amount of outreach that we do in the community is what really makes us different than most organizations.
What's the town's population, and tell us about some of the community initiatives that the Jackals do with Jamestown.
So Jamestown has about 26,000 people, and through the nonprofit, we do a mentoring program called Be the Change, where we work with middle school and high school students twice a week for a 12-week period. We also do free youth basketball clinics. That's typically once a month on a Saturday, 2 hours. The families just have to sign their kids up, and we provide basketballs and then professional basketball training with the Jamestown Jackals players. During the summer, we do basketball camps, which would be week-long camps for more intense instruction. And then the past 3 years, we've been able to host park play with pros. I love alliterations. And so it's 3 hours every day for a week where kids get to come to the park and actually play various sports. So it might be kickball, soccer, dodgeball, freeze tag with the professional basketball players. And so all of those programs are really neat and just an awesome experience for our youth in Jamestown to be able to spend time learning from these professional basketball players from all over the country.
Gotta ask you this: what is your arena situation like? And when you recruit players, are you doing it by yourself, or do you have someone else to assist you with the recruiting process?
So for the past 10 years, minus the COVID year, we've hosted our games at Jamestown Community College. We've had a great experience there. And when talking with BSL about joining, they said that we were okay to host our games at the community college this year. It's really been a wonderful venue. But we are currently coming up with a proposal to host at our ice arena in Jamestown. It's never hosted basketball in the past, but we're looking into those details, trying to find a hardwood floor and all of that necessary in order to play in the bigger arena. And so we don't know exactly what next season's going to look like for our arena, but we have had a good experience at JCC, and we're just looking to continue to grow. For the past 6 seasons, Raheem Singleton has been with the team. Originally, he came and tried out at training camp as a point guard. He played one season for us, and that season was actually shut down due to COVID. And so when he came back in 2021, he became a player coach for us. And so since 2021, he's been helping me with all of the recruiting we've done every season.
What's the what's the attendance size for the rink, and overall, how's the attendance been in Jamestown for the last couple years? I guess you guys originally joined the basketball league, and then this year came across to the basketball super league.
Yep. So our attendance has continued to grow. JCC, with just the bleachers on the main floor, is about 1,000. And so we averaged between 600 and 700 per game. So it was packed. It was really packed this season. It was exciting. And the ice arena, depending on how we set it up, I believe it could be up to 2,600 people.
That's a big difference.
A huge, significant difference. And so I'm really looking forward to it. Some may say that we didn't quite like max out the community college, and it's a lot to take on, doubling almost 75% more. But really, I feel like the potential of being downtown has a lot more opportunities for us. And so my goal that's top on my list right now And if we're able to secure the ice arena, it's to start doing that promotion and selling season tickets and setting up the courtside seats and the tables and the different suites and everything. So I'm excited for the potential growth opportunities. I understand it's going to be a big undertaking, but that's really where we're growing with things.
This question I wanted to ask you: what is the story behind the Jamestown Jackals franchise, and how did the name come about, and the branding and all that?
So one of my friends actually played for a semi-pro team in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I wasn't familiar with the league or anything. And after volunteering with that organization, I would find myself sitting in church every Sunday just thinking about ideas as far as what it would be like to have a team in Jamestown. And like I mentioned, I love alliterations. And so I was thinking of J names, and the jellyfish just didn't really sound appropriate. The college at the time had a basketball team in Olean, New York called the Jamestown Jaguars. So I had to take that off the list. A Joey, a baby kangaroo, didn't really sound like that would work either. And then I came up with the animal, a jackal, and I really didn't know what it was. So I Googled and it said a wolf-like dog from Africa. And I was like, you know what? We could make that work. And so I designed a logo and just kind of went with it.
Amazing. And what was the copyright and trademark process like? Is that with that as well?
I'm not sure. That's not something that I've handled, so I couldn't speak on that.
And how about the colors? How did you come about the colors for the team?
My favorite color is actually blue. We started out with more of like a turquoise blue when we were semi-pro, and one of my players actually complained because he couldn't purchase gear to match the lighter blue color that we had. And so when we joined the basketball league, we switched it to royal blue, and we've stuck with that ever since.
Did that have anything to do with the Buffalo Bills colors?
I'm actually from Pennsylvania, and so I did not grow up a Bills fan, and so no, I really had no inclination whatsoever with that.
Russell, PA. Where is that in terms of? Is that like near Pittsburgh, a suburb of Pittsburgh?
It's actually in Warren County, so it's 20 minutes away from Jamestown. So it's really just across the border. Not far at all.
I always like going to Erie, but I not in the wintertime, because the one time I took the 190 to Erie, the weather was good coming out of Buffalo, and then all of a sudden I got near Erie, it changed in a minute. So
Yes, we have definitely pockets of Erie, Fredonia, Buffalo. That it depends on that lake effect snow for sure.
overall, how has your the merchandise done well for the team as well, like the jerseys, the hats, the t-shirts, and all that too?
It's been decent. That's something that I need to do a better job of as far as our merchandise sales. I've got a couple people with small businesses downtown in Jamestown that are willing to sell some of our gear. And so right now, the online platform isn't very robust either. And so that's one of the improvements that I want to make this upcoming year is improving the availability of different items and just spreading word about it more.
Maybe possibly a team store next year at the arena, and especially online, because the internet has really changed everything in merchandise for professional sports teams.
It definitely has for sure.
Kayla, I know you were a basketball player before you transitioned into the management side of it. How did you get involved with the basketball league and David Magley and his wife as well?
So, like I mentioned, my friend had played in that semi-pro league, and so we played in the Premier Basketball League for 2 seasons. And that first season, back in 2016, I had no idea what I was doing. They had sent me the operations manual, and I read that. It was, I think, 168 pages, and I read that 3 times through that first summer before starting the team, just trying to learn the dynamics and the expectations of things. And so after 2 years of semi-pro, Premier Basketball League that we were in disbanded because the owner of our league was collaborating with Mr. Magley to start the North American Premier Basketball League. And at that time, the way our operations worked, being run by the nonprofit, we'd never provided paychecks for our players. It was just an opportunity to get film and stats and continue your basketball career, and do the mentoring side of things too. And so when I was first approached about joining this professional league, I said, I don't have the funding for that. And we didn't qualify as far as being able to pay our players. And so that third season of the Jackals, we joined the North American Basketball League, which was actually based out in Texas. And I ran a Northeast division. And so some of the other teams that were kind of left behind by the disbanding of our league stayed together. And then we played some ABA teams as well, just to have more games. At the end of it, we won the Northeast division and got invited to fly down to Texas for the national championship. So that was our first long distance trip. Everything else had really been regional prior to that. And when we went down to Texas, I realized that our organization had really just outgrown the semi-pro world of basketball. And I had such high quality players and just such high expectations for our platform that we needed to level up. And so one of my friends was close with Mr. Magley and had him reach out to us. And he actually came to Jamestown and took a tour of our facility, got to meet some of our board members, see our team housing at the time. And he left the meeting saying, you're the exact type of team that we want for our league. And so we were able to negotiate things in order to join the basketball league. And that's where we continued until we continued to grow and then got invited to join the Super League, which was really exciting.
Kayla, I know you were a former basketball player too. How difficult was it going from being a basketball player into the management administration side of basketball and in a sport that used to be dominated by men as a woman? Just thoughts on that.
It's been very interesting. Like I mentioned, I felt very overwhelmed and unqualified that first season. I played JUCO basketball, but I wasn't even really recruited to do that. Like I never planned on playing college basketball. I grew up ever since I was young. I love basketball. I played other sports at a young age, but basketball was my focus. And during high school, every season, every team that I was on, we continued to advance as far as the playoffs. And so in high school, we made it to the district championship. And then the next year we were in the Sweet 16. And then the next year we made the Elite 8. And so I continued to be part of a program that was growing in itself. In my senior year of high school, the assistant coach for Jamestown Community College actually came to one of our games and asked if any of us six seniors, were interested in playing college basketball. Now, I'd been on a lot of different college visits. I had a lot of scholarship opportunities because of my academics, but nothing felt right. We go on these tours and they were beautiful places, but I really wasn't interested in anything. So I told that coach, I'll hear more information about it. And I actually went to JCC and did a tour of the facility, and I fell in love. Just the campus was beautiful, the staff that I got to meet, and it just really felt like home. And so I got to go there and play 2 more years of basketball. It's only 20 minutes away from my hometown, so a lot of my high school fans, my entire family got to come to the games. And it was just really a wonderful experience. For me, basketball was an opportunity to bring people together. And I think that was the big part of having the professional team in Jamestown. It allowed me to continue to be a part of basketball when I didn't plan on that for my future.
When you played basketball, what number did you wear, and what position did you play, and what was your favorite moment in your basketball career?
Since I was actually in fifth grade in elementary school, so the first time I played like school basketball, I was number 33. There was actually a family friend that attended the high school, and he was 6'11" and 3/4, so he was a footer,
Wow.
and he wore number 33. And so when I got to choose my number in fifth grade, that's the number that I wanted. And I stuck with that all throughout middle school, high school, and then when I got to JCC, that got to be my number two. I really love the number three, and so any variation or multiple of three, but 33 was always my basketball number. And I playing at the community college, we actually won the region championship. And that was the furthest that the college had gone, I think in 26 years. They'd never won a region championship. So that was my sophomore year. And I just remember after the game running up and hugging coach and then hugging my father and my mom. And it was just so exciting to bring that to everyone. So I really loved that experience.
When you mentioned the number 33, I'm an old guy. I was born in the 70s. So when you say the number 33 in basketball, I
Yeah.
think of Indiana great and Boston Celtic great Larry Bird.
I was gonna say Larry Bird, yeah, and that's what everyone thinks, and I didn't grow up watching basketball at all, and so I really
Really?
nope, not at all. So, I was point guard, that was the other question you asked.
Point
I
guard.
was point guard, yeah.
When I played in high school, I wasn't the best, but I loved playing the game of basketball because it was fun. I was a point guard too. They always had me come off the bench because I like the 3-point shots. So
Okay.
I still miss playing basketball. It's like riding a bike, man. When you have a passion for something, even now, I still like to play baseball, even at 52. And it's
Really?
playing sports keeps you young, and it's like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize how much of a part of my life and my character basketball was until I graduated from JCC and then I transferred to St. Bonaventure University. And I attempted to try and get a meeting with the coach, but they had such an elite team that year that I didn't even get a conversation. And so basketball ended then. And after I graduated, I started working at the community college. And I didn't realize how much I was missing not having basketball in my life.
And how I got into radio and media work was doing some volunteer work as a camera operator for the Guelph Nighthawks of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Unfortunately, the team moved to Calgary, but it was because I was doing some volunteer work with a local pro basketball team, and I got a taste of camera work, and the camera work led to my podcast, which led to me getting on radio for a couple years in Georgia and a number of pro sports teams too. So I always tell people when you volunteer work, it's always good to give back, but sometimes you can find your passion by volunteering as well.
Exactly, and that's what I was doing for that semi-pro team in Erie, Pennsylvania. Like, I didn't even know semi-pro teams like that existed, and now it's completely changed my life and the community and lives of hundreds of basketball players that has come to Jamestown the last decade.
Now, with the Jamestown Jackals as well, how important is the academics, the education? I'm going to reword this as a student athlete. How important is the education a part of it as being an athlete as well? How challenging can it be being a student athlete?
Oh, I mean, that's huge. When I was a student athlete, like we had required study hours, but it was way more than that. Like it was a commitment to make sure that you were locked in because basketball is a full time job. At the college level, you've got individual workouts and practices and film sessions, and you really have to have time management and just that commitment. Like a lot of times, I was exhausted. I wasn't sleeping very much at college, but I had to commit to my studies and making sure that I was in the best shape possible to really lead my team. And so it's amazing the difference as we recruit. Like, we don't have education requirements for our players, but I found in the past 10 years, the players that have completed and finished their college degrees often have higher IQs and are able to pick up on things and typically have a more successful experience here because they were able to endure that during college and really succeed in accomplishing that goal of getting a degree. So it has a huge impact, not just on IQ, but just their ability to handle stress and to accomplish things through um, different things of turbulence. Like, things aren't always easy, but being a college athlete, you're definitely learning different strategies that can help you in life in general.
Absolutely, and I speak to high school kids once a month here, as well as the importance of education in the classroom, but education doesn't stop outside of a classroom. And also, too, when you're younger, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I'm not telling kids to wait till they're 47 to figure out what they want to do, but you can find a career at any time in life. You don't have to pick one career and that's it as well. And the education part as a professional athlete or a student athlete, sports is great, but eventually it ends at some point. So it's important to be able to have a backup plan for your future as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I actually finished my master's degree the day that I announced I was starting the semi-pro basketball team. So it was kind of neat. I was in curriculum and instruction. So, like, the long-term planning, I think, has been very beneficial for me in running the basketball team over the years.
Well, congratulations. And who were some of your early influences and mentors on your career and with your education as well?
Definitely my parents. They always kind of had high expectations to perfection, and so me and my two siblings worked very hard academically, and then growing up, we were involved in all types of sports, and we weren't just participating, we were winning, and so my father coached us in a lot of our sports, and just learning what it took to be fully invested to succeed. And I think that was huge for me as far as wanting to work hard and be the best person that I could be in all aspects. And the name of the nonprofit is actually Integrity First. And that really comes from my parents too, as far as trying to do the right things. We're not perfect and we all make mistakes, but really trying to be accountable and making the decisions to help others. My parents were always looking out for the neighbor kids and different teammates and stuff. And so I have a very caring heart and wanting to take care of people and make sure that things are equitable and that people are treated fairly. One of my degrees from St. Bonaventure is in special education. And so I have a deep heart for people with disabilities as well. And all of that, I think, impacts the nonprofit and the professional basketball team as far as how I run things and what's important to me and the organization as a whole.
I would say communication, trust, and respect. And I have to ask you this too, Kayla. I know I've talked to other guys in other pro sports leagues when they look to draft guys or bring guys in through free agency or the draft and stuff like that. Obviously, talent is number one. For you, besides the talent aspect of a basketball player, what other qualities do you look for in a player that could be a future Jamestown Jackal?
Character is huge. And so everything that we do with the youth and making sure that the guys understand what we're all about here in Jamestown. I talk about survival mode and how many people cut corners. They do what they can to survive. They may lie, they may cheat, they may steal because they're trying to survive and take care of themselves or their family or the people that they care about. And so when we're recruiting, it's not necessary that we're looking for people that have perfect records, but people that are humble to say, hey, I want to do better. I had a meeting with the guys the day before they left after we had lost that final game in Sudbury. And I was like, we recruit good players, good people. But our goal is after your experience here, you become great men, not just on the court, but on the court, off the court as well. Good fathers, good sons, good brothers, like whoever you are, we want to help you take that level of being good to greatness. And I'm really passionate about that. And so it's been neat, the different lives we've been able to impact over the years.
How have the players been with the kids in your community as well?
They're amazing. They become exhausted. It's a big commitment, the mentoring, the outreach. We go to schools once or twice a week, the clinics. This year we partnered with a Christian basketball organization, and we had 2 or 3 guys reffing every Saturday when we were in town. And so it's exhausting. So a couple times this year, I was like, "Who makes this schedule? I'm tired." And it was me making the schedule, but yeah, it's so important the work that we do, and my guys are just amazing. Year after year, everyone we recruit does such a remarkable job, and our fans are constantly asking, "Is this player coming back? Is this player coming back?" Just because they've had such an impact on the youth and even the adults in our community as well. It's been really neat. It's humbling to see these professional athletes just being such great characters with the community.
Can you tell us, Kayla, the social media aspect of the Jamestown Jackals? And obviously, the Basketball Super League does live stream the games. Do you have any plans to get your games on more outlets and platforms in the Jamestown, New York area as well with broadcasters?
I would love to. Um, that's something that I've struggled with connecting over the years as far as finding the right platform and the right people to produce for us. But I would love to. Right now, we have Instagram, which is probably our biggest following, and then Facebook as well. This was the first year that one of our interns started TikTok, and so that was neat. I've never been on TikTok,
I
so to
joined
see.
the I joined TikTok 5 years ago. I thought I was too old. I thought it was ridiculous. And you know what? I learned how to cut promos and promote my guests and my media work there. So to me, that's a thumbs up, and I will look for you guys on TikTok.
Yes, I need to get better at it. But it was funny. We were at one fundraiser event, and this mom came in and she wanted to thank me for the guys. And she's like, "My son saw Dion, number 4, dunk on TikTok. And when we walked into the gym, he ran over and was pointing, 'That's him. That's him. He's the guy I saw on TikTok.'" And so just hearing that, like I didn't realize how much it could impact the younger generations just having a TikTok. And so I want to do more with that as far as promoting some of the outreach and the positive messaging that we do, as well as the professional basketball side of things. I want to look into it, but I feel like since we've had the team here and some of my former players and friends in the basketball world do individual training with the youth, it seems like there's a lot more basketball scholarships being received for the youth in our community. And it's so cool to have the youth run up and say, "I'm going to be a Jamestown Jackal someday." And even my niece asked me if I could start a female team because she wants to be a Jamestown Jackal herself.
Kayla, since you played basketball as a female too, how much has the sport women's basketball grown even the last 10 years? And just quick thoughts on the the WNBA, the impact that league's had. And now Toronto's getting a team. And I just spoke to a gentleman from the women's basketball league that's out of Detroit, Ryan Reed, who's starting up a 6-team women's basketball league, which is sort of going to be like a feeder league for the WNBA. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on the evolution of women's basketball to what it is now.
I think it's so exciting. It's really great. Like I mentioned, I didn't really grow up watching basketball for men or women, but it's just awesome the amount of growth that has happened and the impact that it is having on our females. And it's been sad over the years, the different research that I've seen as far as girls not being interested in sports, and just the numbers dwindling and different teams locally having to fold because they don't have enough players. And hopefully just with the growth this past year that the WNBA has had, it'll be able to trickle down and really inspire more youth, more girls to want to be involved in sports. So that's exciting. And I've said for years now, like, people always get confused when they know that I've started a semi-pro, now professional basketball team. They're like, it's female, right? I was like, nope, it's a male team. And so I would love to learn about a female league that we could start a team for as well. I think that would be really awesome, especially how obsessed my nieces are with basketball just because of the impact the team's had on their lives.
Do you think Buffalo could support a WNBA team in the future?
I would say Buffalo would probably be a really good market for that. Yeah.
Did you know Buffalo had an NBA team in the 1970s?
I did not know that before I started the Jackals, but as soon as I started the Jackals, I did learn that. So yeah, that's why I said I believe a WNBA team would be potential for sure.
Absolutely. And have to ask you this too, Kayla. As for promotions, are you guys doing promotions coming up next season as well? And how important is it to do kind of promotions to encourage first-time people to get to your games?
Oh, it's huge. One of my biggest frustrations is when still today I ask people about the Jamestown Jackals and they don't know that we exist. And I'm like, do you live under a rock? Like, seriously. It's been 10 years that we've been playing professional basketball, or semi-pro first basketball in Jamestown, and there's still so many people that don't know we exist. And so that's a big thing on my list in this off season, is to make sure that we have season ticket sales and to really do a better job of getting the word out there as far as who we are and what we provide for the community and just the quality of basketball. I have one fan who used to love high school basketball and go to all the games. And after, I think it was season 2, he came up to me. He's like, I can't go to the high school games anymore. You ruined it for me. You've just got too good basketball. I can't sit there and watch the high schoolers anymore. So it's just a testimony of the quality of basketball that we provide with the organization.
Any plans? I'm putting you on the spot here. Any plans next year to maybe even have a once a week podcast show about the Jamestown Jackals?
I would love to do that, to be honest. Since I started, I've been saying that I want to write a book about the team. I've got stories for days as far as just crazy things that happen. Our team chaplain, he's been my like sounding board with things the past 2 years. And every time he sees me, he's like, what's going on this week? And I'll tell him. And he looks at me, he goes, I don't know if I want to cry for you or just laugh. He's like, they're ridiculous stories. And so since the season ended, I've actually been working on writing just season 10 because it was so crazy this past season. I mean, we announced in October that we were joining the Super League, and the guys moved in on November 17th. So I've got 8 pages typed right now as far as some of the different stories of things that have happened. But during COVID, it was really put on my heart that I should start a podcast and just start sharing. A lot of people don't understand what it is we do through the nonprofit and even the level of basketball. I remember it was after season 4, so we had just joined the professional league. It was crazy. For the first time, we had national travel. One weekend, we had to be in Yakima, Washington, San Diego, California, and Mesquite, Nevada. Three
Wow.
different games in 3 different states in 4 days. And it was just insane. That season, I felt overwhelmed and unqualified once again. And after the season, I had so many bills and I was completely broke because I was working a full-time job and every single paycheck was going to the Jackals to just help us survive. And I drove up to Buffalo for a pro-am one of the trainers that I had met had wanted me to check out a potential player. And I pulled into the parking lot and I'm looking through my pockets, my wallet, my car, just praying that I had hid some cash somewhere because I didn't have anything. And I ended up just I sat there for a minute, couldn't find anything, so I just walked in, and thankfully there was no cover. There was no cost to get in, and I walked in and I sat in the bleachers by myself just watching the game. And after a while I messaged my friend and he's like, "Yeah, I knew when you walked in. The guy next to me said the rich white lady from Jamestown's here." And I'm like, if he only knew the amount that I sacrificed to make this happen and how many different donors have helped provide for us, but it's not through me whatsoever. I've been blessed to meet amazing people to make this happen, and thankfully, God's provided every step of the way. But it's definitely been a learning experience for me as far as trying to survive because it's not just me. I'm taking care of the basic needs of 12 players and a coach every season. So it's been crazy. And I think people would be amazed at a podcast to actually hear some of the details of what it's like.
Well, if you do start up one in the future, please let me know because I'd be willing to help you or work with you on that.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
Since you brought this up, sponsorships, how has the community of Jamestown businesses sponsorships come along with you? And for those who are watching this show or listening to it and they're in the Jamestown area and they might be interested in coming aboard your team, what's the best way of them contacting you?
So our website is jamestownjackals.com, and I run all of our social media pages. And so any of those are options to get a hold of us. Sponsorships has been one of the most challenging things. Everyone told me that by starting a nonprofit, it would be super easy to get donations. But a lot of people don't understand why they're being asked to donate to a professional basketball team, especially because Jamestown's really not that big, and a lot of our businesses donate to the youth. And so I've been able to get more funding for our youth programming than the actual professional basketball side of things. And so that's one thing in this off season. Another thing added to my list is working on the marketing. We go to the arenas in Canada and they've got sponsorship banners everywhere, and every single activity and different aspect of the game is sponsored by a different organization. And so I need to do a better job as the leader of the organization to give people the opportunity to market and to sell their brand with us. And so that's something where we've had some big support in town, but there's definitely a lot more opportunities to get the entire community involved with supporting the team.
Kayla, I'm going to put you on the spot with this question. How much do you feel that you've improved or grown as an executive even the last couple years?
Tremendous. It's really crazy. I think it was season 3 when I realized that I'm truly blessed and highly favored, and that I really didn't have a lot of confidence when I started. Although it was my decision to really start the team, there was a lot of different people that were supporting me and saying, "Hey, this is an awesome idea. You need to do this." And I'm like, "Maybe in a couple years." And they're like, "No, now." And so I was just listening to the influence of other people. But then when decisions had to be made, I didn't want to make any of them. I'm a middle child, and my entire life I just went with whatever my older sister or my baby brother wanted to do. And so I really didn't have a lot of experience as far as making decisions. And so my growth has been tremendous as just in having the confidence and then really persevering through things as well. It's really easy to just kind of want to give up, like it's been so overwhelming, and there's been such mountains and hurdles that I've had to climb. And really, I had to learn that I chose this. And that first year I started, I really felt like it was a burden. Like, I started this team to provide opportunities for players and to provide opportunities for the community. And so everyone should be grateful to me for what I was doing. But it's been my choice. And I love what I do. And I want to continue to grow and be a even better um, leader through this. And so I'm excited to see what I continue to do in the future as well.
Overall thoughts on the basketball super league, and right now there's currently 8 teams. Are there any plans to expand to maybe 10 or 12 teams? And was there any challenges going from the states over to Canada? Obviously, Ontario and the one team in Newfoundland this season.
We actually had a great experience crossing over the border. One of my players had issues a couple times where he had to go to like the secondary conversations, investigation, and stuff. But we really didn't have any issues crossing the border. And overall, it was just a good experience. I know, just like our organization, the Basketball Super League is looking to expand, and so trying to find the right markets to make it make sense and kind of help with travel and everything. So I'm excited for our owners meeting coming up to hear the potential ideas for growth and what's going to happen in the future.
Perhaps a team in Erie or Buffalo as well.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Even the
I,
Pittsburgh area wouldn't be too far for us.
I live in Guelph, which is Guelph is about an hour from Toronto and about 2 hours from Buffalo. I really think Guelph would be. I think Guelph would make a good basketball super league team. They have an arena here that seats 5,000 people, and in this whole area, there's about 700,000 people. So I really think a pro basketball team with the right ownership could succeed here with the basketball super league.
I have heard that there's talk of that, so that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. And what were your thoughts on this 24-25 Jackals team that finished fourth, 18-13? You guys had a play-in game against the 3-time champion London Lightning, who have been just a dynasty over here, and you guys defeated them, and then you took the defending champions, the Sudbury Five, to 5 games in a close series.
It was really awesome. I thought Coach and I did a great job recruiting, mostly on Coach Radio's shoulders for sure. But I was really proud of the guys. I thought they did a tremendous job. And honestly, I was disappointed. I feel like a couple of things going differently, the games that we lost, it could have been a whole different story. And so definitely looking to, on my part, go back to the drawing board and to see what I can do better to provide for the team, because I definitely think we have a shot at that championship for sure in the near future.
What are your thoughts on coming over to Canada, and specifically Ontario and Newfoundland? And did you try our poutine, which is a Quebec staple?
I actually did not try it, and I don't know why, because I wanted to. I love fries and that. It looked delicious, but no, we had a good experience. A lot of the times, as I mentioned, this year was pretty overwhelming for me, and so I didn't really get the opportunity to enjoy and be present in many of the different seasons. It was more just coordinating and making sure the players were taken care of and everything was set up for them. And so I'm looking forward to more opportunities to spend time in Canada and actually enjoy the experience.
Well, Kayla, before we wrap this up, is there before we wrap this up, what's a fun fact about Kayla Crosby and also the Jamestown Jackals?
Um, a fun fact about me is I've actually been skydiving twice.
Wow.
And it's kind of crazy because I'm claustrophobic and terrified of heights. Um, so that was something after season two. Actually, no, it was after season one going into season two. I decided to go skydiving. I actually went by myself. It was terrifying. But when I was free falling out of the plane, I really felt like I could accomplish anything after that. And that was huge just for my confidence. And I think something about the Jackals is I guess just that we've been around for a whole decade now. I think that's really quite the accomplishment. Everyone's surprised that we've made it this far, and I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking to build a stadium in Jamestown in the future. So there's a lot of potential.
Congratulations on 10 years. And are you guys going to kind of incorporate that into your promos next year, a 10th year celebration?
Well, so we just finished our 10th year, so it'll be moving forward, yes. And so I would love to do something as we go into our 11th season.
And finally, do you have a question for the host CDP before we wrap this up?
I just need to know when you're coming to Jamestown. Looking forward to hosting you here for sure.
I always like coming over to Buffalo, obviously for the Bandits and the Bisons, and Western New York is such a nice area, and I definitely would like to come out to a couple games next year. And I've never been to Jamestown; I've been through it, but I really would like to support your league, and hopefully we'll see you when the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, who had a tremendous season as well, and Kayla, you do have an open invite to come back on my show again. And I want to say thank you so much for giving us 50 minutes of your time today, and continued success with the Jackals and with the Basketball Super League as well. And if you need any help on doing a podcast, please let me know as well. Yeah, I think we lost Kayla Crosby, guys, due to a technical difficulty. But I want to say thank you to Kayla Crosby, the general manager of the Basketball Super League's Jamestown Jackal, for coming on today from the Basketball Super League. They finished last year 18-13 in the regular season, and they beat London in a play-in tournament to get into the playoffs, and then they took the defending champion Sudbury Fives to 5 games as well. So again, thank you to Kayla Crosby, the general manager of the Basketball Super League's Jamestown Jackals, for coming on. You can check out their website, jamestownjackals.com, jamestownjackals.com. Before we wrap up the show, guys, the next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullen.com here in Guelph, is going to be Tuesday, May 20th. At 4 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, Nancy Singh, a global health educator. We're going to talk about reducing your cholesterol level, lowering your insulin, and how to reverse diabetes as well, and how she changed careers from being a banker with a well-known banking company into the health food section. So, yeah, we're going to talk to Nancy Singh tomorrow at 4 o'clock about healthier eating and healthier choices as well. Before we wrap up the show, guys, I think we got Miss Kayla back. So we're just going to bring her on so we can say goodbye to her. No worries. I got your message, and I apologize for keeping you longer than 40 minutes. So thank you so much for popping back on.
No problem. My pleasure. I was sitting here like I'm watching the time go down on my battery and just praying that I got a chance to thank you for the opportunity. It was really wonderful. I greatly appreciate it.
Hey, again, the game of basketball has changed my life, because if I didn't volunteer for a basketball team, I don't know if I would have gotten the broadcasting bug. And anytime, if you need some help on ever setting up a podcast or some social media stuff, I am a content creator, and I'd like to help out as well.
That would be great. Thank you. And I also wanted to do a shout out to all of our fans and supporters over the years. This has been my vision and my dream for bringing to Jamestown, but there's a million other people that have helped support. And I'm just grateful for everyone, including my family, that stepped up to make all of this possible. So thank you for giving the opportunity to share, and just keep in touch, because we're going to continue to grow. I definitely know that.
What's one word to describe yourself?
Determined.
And what kind of an identity do you like to create for your Jackals team?
I've been reading Tim Grover's book, Relentless, and I really just want the mentality of greatness and being unstoppable. That's really what I'm striving for, just continuing to grow as people and as athletes as well.
When you play basketball, how tall were you?
Could I tell a quick story?
Yes.
So my freshman year, I made the varsity basketball team, and my coach listed me in the program as 5'8". And so my entire high school experience, I thought I was 5'8". And my senior year, I got to my physical and the nurse measured me and she said I was 5'4 3/4". And I said, "No, I'm not. I'm 5'8". She laughed at me and she's like, "No, you're not even 5'5", Kayla." And I was devastated. And so I always would guard whoever. It didn't matter if they were a guard or a forward because I thought I was 5'8", but I was 5'4".
I was 5'8", now I'm 5'6".
Okay.
So, uh, do you find that happens a lot with professional basketball too, with teams? Like, oh, let's change this guy's height an inch or two.
Yeah, so I forget what season it was, but we had a volunteer sponsor to do physicals for all the players. And so my mom was helping out and she was getting their measurements. And all of them were shorter than they said when we recruited them. And my mom's like, "He lied too." She was all upset. But yeah, definitely players tend to exaggerate a little bit or add a little bit to their height. I've definitely noticed that over the years.
Finally, Kayla, where can people follow the team and yourself on social media? And again, for people that are watching or listening to the show that might be interested in coming aboard your team as a sponsorship next year.
Yep. So our website is jamestownjackals.com. My email is kayla@jamestownjackals.com. And we have Facebook, Instagram, it's Jamestown Jackals. And I believe our Twitter is J Jackals, or it might be J-Town Jackals. But yeah, you can find us on any of those platforms. And then I have Instagram, it's kcros33. And then Facebook is just my name, Kayla Crosby. And so I love to connect with new people.
I will always remember you as number 33, but also my 539th episode today.
Ooh, congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. And I would love to have you back on again and maybe some of your players in the future to talk Jackals basketball and promote the Basketball Super League as well.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So right now I've got big meetings as far as our permanent housing and then playing at the ice arena. So if you catch me the end of summer, beginning of fall, I'm hoping to have some big announcements. And we've kept in touch with quite a few of the players that are interested in coming back next season as well. So I'm sure they would love to share about their experiences with being in Jamestown.
Finally, do you have a question for the host before we wrap this up?
Question for the host. I did not prepare for this. What's your favorite hobby outside of sports?
Sports is a big part of my life.
I
Playing
knew
it.
that. That's why I had to give you this tricky one.
That was a good one. I would say content creating. Storytelling. This show was originally all sports, but now it's a full talk show. So I guess learning and storytelling, learning, and connecting with people. And I'm now into comedy too. I've had so many comedians come on my show. I went and saw one in Toronto this Saturday at Second City in Toronto. So just connecting with people as well. Being a people person, in the media industry, you have to be able to talk to people, but you also have to listen to them. And I'm sure you know that as well with being an executive.
Most definitely. That's great. I love it.
Well, anyways, I'm going to let you go, Kayla, but thank you so much for coming on here today and give me a little bit of time tonight and I will send you the video, the audio, and then I will shrink the video into some reels and clips because our attention spans these days aren't as what they used to be. So I will do that and I will tag you the team in to this broadcast as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That all sounds wonderful. I appreciate it.
Have a great rest of your day. And I'll also wish you a happy Memorial Day next week. Ours is Victoria Day here. So next week is your Memorial Day in the States as well.
It is. Well, enjoy celebrating today also.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon, Kayla.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay.
All right, guys, that wraps up season 10, episode 44, overall 539 of Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Before we wrap up this show, guys, I've been doing some freelance media coverage of the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League training camp at the University of Guelph, and I interviewed a player yesterday from Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, quarterback Tucker Horn, and we're gonna play this interview right now, courtesy of my YouTube channel. Chris Palme here, live at the University of Guelph Alumni Stadium for Toronto Argonauts training camp, and I have a special guest here today. It's one of the Toronto Argonaut quarterbacks. His name is Tucker Horn, and he's from Trinity College. And Tucker, just thoughts on training camp so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome to get out with the guys. I haven't played football in a little bit, and it's awesome to get this opportunity. The locker room is great. The coaches are great. It's been a real blast so far.
Being from the States and playing it in Trinity in San Antonio, Texas, how much of an adjustment was it as an American coming over to the CFL and the changes in the 3 downs over here?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is different, right? There's lots of different rules, but the coaches have been on top of, getting us those rules and making sure that we're, well-versed in the Canadian game. And, I'm still learning with all the movement in the back end of the defenses and the movement of the wide receiver. So I'm constantly learning every day, and it's been great to have older guys in the QB room that I can really look up to.
Thoughts on the coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching staff is awesome, right? Like everybody is a critical part of this organization and has been, key to the success that they have had over the recent years. So I'm just very blessed to be able to work in such a great environment with all these great coaches.
What are you looking to do to improve this year as a quarterback? And how much have you developed since your days at Trinity?
Yeah, I mean, I've put on a little bit of weight, like really good weight. And I think I'm more of a pro level weight now with size. And I think that, I'm just constantly, again, learning every day about the Canadian game. I think that I need to, continue to speed up my footwork, continue to clean up my footwork, continue to be able to progress through different reads and things like that, recognize defenses before they happen. And I think that's going to set me up good in the long run, just being able to learn.
Thoughts about the receiving core on the Toronto Argonauts?
Yeah, very talented group, very, very talented group. Senior laden, like there's a lot of, older guys that are helping some of the younger guys, and very good camaraderie in that group that's helping them, continue to lead on the field.
How would you describe yourself as a quarterback and a football player and a teammate?
Yeah, I would say that I'm for the team. Like this is what I live and breathe. Like I love football. I would say that I'm a football junkie. Like I love studying the schematics of football. How football works, how it ticks, how defenses work, how offenses work, and I'm going to put my best foot forward every single day to get better.
How did you come about signing with the Toronto Argonauts?
Yeah, so Mike Miller, the QB coach, got in touch with my head coach, and just after a couple months of talking and through last season, I just signed a futures deal in October after throwing in front of John Murphy. So I was in talks with Mike for a long time, have a really good relationship with him, and he's kind of the one that, started it all.
Thoughts on your college days at Trinity, and did you have a favorite or a most memorable game?
Yeah, I mean, we won some big conference games at Trinity. I mean, it's a really small school, so you don't hear much about, Trinity University or the D3 world, but no, I have lots of fun memories. I think what I take the most from that is my head coach. I've gained a best friend. His name's Jeremy Urban. He actually played for Coach Miller in the NFL when Coach Miller was coaching for the Arizona Cardinals. So it's really cool that there's a connection there.
What's a fun fact about yourself?
Fun fact, I've never been out of the USA. So this is my first time leaving the country of America, and it's I'm moving to Canada a little bit. So it's a little odd.
Thoughts on the University of Guelph training camp facilities, and have you tried poutine yet, which is a Canadian staple food here?
I have not tried poutine, but what I can say about the facilities here is they're top notch. Like these are some dang good facilities. The weight room's great, the cafeteria is great. The dorms we're staying in is great. They take really, really good care of us here.
And finally, if you're a music fan, is there a particular song that you like to have played during pregame training camp?
I really love, Texas country. So George Strait, like I can jam to George Strait all day long. He's got countless songs that I love.
I'm going to put you on the spot here with this last question. Favorite NFL player, favorite NFL team?
I grew up in a place called Lubbock, Texas. So I grew up watching college football more, so Texas Tech is where, I was born and raised in Lubbock, Texas. So my favorite player is Patrick Mahomes. So that's he went to Texas Tech there, got to watch him when I was a little kid. So that's my favorite player there, and just kind of followed the Chiefs along with that. It's been pretty cool.
Good choice with Mahomes. He was drafted by my Detroit Tigers in 2014. Finally, we wrapped up the show, Tucker, this interview. Where can Argonaut fans follow you on social media?
Yeah, I think my Instagram is Tucker _Horn5, I think, and my Twitter is Tucker Horn and the number 7. So, yeah, so I'm just on those two.
And what are you looking forward to in the preseason game this Saturday against Hamilton?
I'm just looking to compete, man. Again, it's been a while since I've been on a football field. I'm just looking to, we've been putting a lot of work out on the practice field, and I'm excited to, see how it comes together in that game.
All right. Well, Tucker, thank you so much for doing this. Everybody, this is Tucker Horn, quarterback with the Toronto Argonauts, training camp at the University of Guelph. Tucker, thank you so much. Continued success this season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That was Tucker Horn, quarterback of the Toronto Argonauts, who's from Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. And speaking of the Toronto Argonauts, they are doing a blue and white scrimmage today at 3:45 at the University of Guelph's Alumni Stadium. It is open to the public. It is free. And yours truly will be down at Alumni Stadium in the next few minutes to see the blue and white scrimmage, as the Argonauts are having their training camp scrimmage game here today and a preseason game here at the University of Guelph on Friday, May 30th at 7 o'clock against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You can get tickets on the University of Guelph Griffins website. And the Argos' first preseason game of the Canadian Football League season will be Saturday, May 24th, 7 o'clock at Hamilton Stadium against their Hamilton Tiger Cats QEW rivals as well. And speaking of CFL preseason, the first CFL preseason game is today, Calgary and BC at 4 o'clock as well. So CFL is back in full swing, everybody. And please check out my social media pages for pictures, videos, and some Argonaut interviews from their training camp at the University of Guelph Alumni Stadium. So again, the Argos blue-white scrimmage game today at 3:45 at Alumni Stadium. It lasts approximately an hour. And again, it's free to the public. And come out and check out their website, argonauts.ca, or the Canadian Football League's website, cfl.ca as well. Major League Baseball tonight. Tigers are in St. Louis tonight at 7:45. Tigers coming off a big win, 3-2 against the Blue Jays yesterday. The Tigers took 2 out of 3 from a very good Blue Jays team. And please check out my social media pages for pictures and videos from the Blue Jays-Tigers game. I was there Saturday where Toronto won 2-1 on Ernie Clement RBI single for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the ninth. And finally, the Philadelphia Eagles have extended head coach Nick Sirianni to a multi-year contract. I'm not sure how many years, but it's a multi-year contract. And Nick just finished his 4th year in Philadelphia. He's 48-20 in the regular season, 6-3 in the postseason, including a Super Bowl win. Overall, 54-23 in his 4 years in Philadelphia. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl championship, and 4 straight playoff appearances. Nick Sirianni right now has to go up as probably the greatest coach in Philadelphia Eagles history, even over Andy Reid and Doug Peterson. And Jeffrey Lurie made that announcement today. So Nick Sirianni will be with the Eagles for a while yet as head coach. And that is about it, guys. I want to say thank you to my guest today, Kayla Crosby, the general manager of the Jamestown Jackals of the Basketball Super League, for coming on here today. And I want to say thank you to everyone watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, and Instagram. And hopefully one day StreamYard will partner up with TikTok as well. And Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show is on these audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and wherever podcasts are available as well. And speaking of sponsorships, if you're a business that's looking to advertise on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, which has listeners in 45 countries around the world, on Auto. And also, I have 610 YouTube subscribers and 401,000 views. So I have a strong social media presence with YouTube and Spotify. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, please email me at cpame19@gmail.com, or you can DM me on my social media pages. I am available on all social media platforms. And I want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and on all podcasts that are available on Auto. And I want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I never thought I'd get 610 subscribers and now 401,000 views as well. That is about it. And I want to say a special thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph for sponsoring this show. And before we wrap up this show, guys, 2025 Equinox LT all-wheel drive midnight edition. You can lease from $218 bi-weekly. That's like $109 weekly at 5.5% interest for 48 months with $4,200 down payment on an ultra low kilometer lease. More details at barrycullen.com, or drop by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall, and tell them that Chris Palme sent you as well. Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership is the official sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And I want to wish everybody watching this show live stream or listening on audio that are here in Canada today a happy Victoria holiday, and celebrate with some fireworks tonight. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, Tuesday, May 20th at 4 p.m. with my special guest, Nancy Singh, a global health educator. And we're going to talk about reducing your cholesterol level and lowering your insulin and making healthier eating choices as well. And that is it. Again, thank you to Kayla Crosby from the Jamestown Jackals for coming on here. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme. Have a great rest of your Victoria Day holiday here in Canada, and thanks again for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show.